We talk a lot about the motor risk gauge quite a bit in our research, and for very good reason. I mean, it's a very important tool to help us develop a proper context for what to do with overbought and oversold conditions. Should we be buying them? Should we be selling them? So that's a very important part of what we do. So important, in fact, that we recently added a new risk gauge tab to the website. And you'll notice that there are two versions. There is a free monthly risk gauge update, which if you sign up for that on our website, you can get the risk gauge delivered to your mailbox at the start of each month. And then, of course, there's a more comprehensive version of it for our paying research clients, which gives them a weekly update on the risk gauge for the broad market as well as for the 11 sectors, plus some accompanying commentary. And again, this is really important to help you develop a proper context for what to do with market overbought and oversold conditions. However, now that you have that context, you still need to answer the very important question, what should I be buying and what should I be selling? That's why we developed the MOTR Filter, which you can see on the website here. Under the tab, you'll notice once again that there's a free version as well as a more comprehensive filter for the S&P 500 for our research clients. And once you get to this page, there are two ways that you can search for ideas through the S&P 500. If you just come down here to the search bar and you just simply type in something like pull, which will give you all of the pullbacks that are currently taking place in the S&P 500 today. You can do something like search on a specific motor group, like all the semiconductors, and then once you have that, you sort that. If you want to search on more elaborate criteria, if you simply press the expand filter button here, and then you can search on much more data. So as an example, let's say that we want to search for companies that are in leadership sectors. There are 11 sectors and they're ranked 1 to 11, 1 being the best. So let's say we want the worst score to be a 3. So we want to try to buy companies in the 3 best sectors. And let's say that we want to keep our search to companies that are in the top third of momentum. And then just to be safe, we want to make sure that we have companies that have at least average fundamentals. When we complete that search, this is what we get in the filter. These are all the companies in the S&P 500 that meet that criteria. Now we can come over here and drop it down to 50 stocks so that we can get a bit more of a comprehensive view of what passed through the filter. And now that we have our ideas, we can then sort them by best to worst. So this is fundamental quality. This will bring the best fundamental names to the top of the list. This is momentum, so that'll bring the best momentum stocks to the top of the list. And of course, we can sort by anything, but as an example, we can sort by market cap and bring the smallest companies to the top of the list, or we can click it again and bring the biggest companies to the top of the list. Once you have your list completed, you can then start doing more research. When you're done, just simply click on the clear filters and you can start all over again. Now, I like to come to the filter during the day, actually, to see what's happening in the market. And I like to just start by sorting by the percent change on the day. Now, this is about a 15-minute delay, but it is intraday. And this will give me a good sense for what's happening within the market. One of the things I like to do is to go down and see how many pages I can page forward until I start to get to a negative number. That will give me a sense for what the breadth is on the day, for instance. Now, although the full MOTR filter is available to only paying research clients, we did, as I said earlier, create a free version. And you can access that here on the website. And this contains the MOTR filter output for the 65 stocks in the Dow Jones Composite Index, which contains all of the companies in the Dow Jones Industrials, transports, as well as the utilities. So these are 65 of the most prominent and most important companies in the country. So it's very helpful to come to this free filter and just get a sense for what's happening. Here we can search and sort by fundamental quality, momentum. You can put in a specific ticker. Just like the full filter, it's just a less comprehensive list of companies. So now that you know how to use the filter, head on over to motorcmr.com and begin your search for ideas today. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, subscribe to stay updated on what we post next. Thanks so much and happy hunting.